WL Sports, where we review all the best sports clips from around the country. Now you're probably wondering, why should I watch over here instead of over there? Because over there, they don't care about what you have to say. They don't read any of the comments. They think we're just a bunch of clowns on YouTube and Twitter. They talk down to us all the time. But I think it's the exact opposite. I think we know exactly what we're talking about. So I read every single comment. So if you think what I'm saying is the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard, let me know in the comments below. If you think what I'm saying is the most amazing thing, then also definitely let me know. Either way, let's get into some discussions. Let's get into some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. So without further ado, let's get to it. We're with Speak talking about, is it officially time to give Dak more respect? Because I guess he was just named second team All-Pro. I will say Dak is a good quarterback. He is a good quarterback, and he was very fortunate to play a terrible, a very great easy schedule. Okay, he ate up on terrible teams. Okay, against playoff teams, his stats are significantly worse. Against playoff teams this season, he has a below 500 record. Okay, with a poor pass rating, poor yards, just everything. He ate up like a king against the bad teams. Congratulations. I tip my hat to you. That's not necessarily the easiest thing to do. Not everyone can do it. He can do that consistently, which proves that he is a pretty good quarterback. But when he plays good, solid teams that are actually also playing well at that time, he does not play that well. And you can see that in the numbers. And I'm not going to just read all the stats, but he clearly does not play. I mean, he has a below 500 record when he plays this season in 2023 against playoff teams. That's something.
Lamar Jackson.
And that's why.
How impressive.
It is impressive. That's why I said that I will give him more credit, right? But to get that full credit, the way we look at Josh Allen, the way we look at Lamar Jackson, because we don't look at Dak Prescott. Even with this All-Pro, you don't look at him in the same breath as them guys do.
Yeah, he got to make a run in the playoffs.
Make a run.
You see what I'm saying? So it has to be something extra for us to give him that super credit that you want to give him.
Yeah. Now, what about people who are going to say, well, Shay, you moving goalposts? Because everybody been waiting for you to give Dak Prescott, who you recently said was...
I just gave him love. I just said that he's having a solid elite year, and I give him more credit.
Okay.
But to give him that full, I can't look at him like I look at Josh Allen. Now, since you guys want to bring it up and all that, you can't wait to ask me. I see you in your chest. Can't wait to ask me that question. Cool. Where do you think Josh Allen should be at? Because you do have an all-pro vote, right?
Yes, sir.
So if Lamar Jackson is going to be the MVP, so he has to be first-team all-pro. That's how that works. And then Dak Prescott had a great year, right? So he got... What about Josh Allen?
Josh has never got an All-Pro, I believe, right?
I believe, no, he has a second. He has a second.
He got one.
All-Pro.
So I'm going to ask you, Mr. Voter, because you can't wait to ask me.
Yeah, of course.
You see that? When an instigator gets put on the spot, it's a new thing. Right? He can wait to ask me that question, Joey. So we're going to ask you.
Instigator.
Does Josh Allen deserve to be an all-pro?
No, sir, not this year, sir. Not at all, sir. Not because Lamar Jackson obviously should be a first-team All-Pro. Dak Prescott had a better year than Josh Allen. Josh Allen had more total touchdowns, but he obviously had a lot more turnovers. Dak Prescott's team is a 2-seed like Josh Allen's team is a 2-seed, but Dak Prescott, he wasn't sitting there having to win the last 6 consecutive games to get it done. He put himself ahead of everybody else going into the final stretch. He had to beat the Eagles. He beat the Eagles, and ultimately, I don't think there's even a conversation.
So real quick, before I get done with this conversation. So,
sir.
As an all-pro voter,
yes, sir.
Right? I'm trying to figure this out. So, what do you vote on a quarterback? Is it the stats? Does that matter at all?
Stats and eye test. Stats and eye test, big dog. When I looked at both.
And what about does the team success matter at all? Too?
Of course.
Okay.
Yes.
So, would you say that Lamar Jackson having a better year than Josh Allen?
Yeah. I would say Lamar's having a better year than Josh Allen. James Jones, let me come to you on the far end of this one, big dog.
You're not going to say why?
I mean, Lamar's having a better year than Josh Allen because his team has been much better, but individually, Lamar Jackson has been less of a detriment to the Baltimore Ravens than Josh Allen has been a detriment to the Buffalo Bills. Lamar Jackson has never hurt.
That is such nonsense because Josh Allen is being asked to do so much more. That's why he ends up being a detriment. First off, their offensive coordinator was also a disaster. He got fired in the middle of the season. That is incredibly difficult to overcome. Everyone keeps talking about Lamar Jackson and why part of the reason why he's the MVP is because he had a new offense and a new offensive coordinator going into the season, and there you go. So why is Josh Allen not getting the same credit in that regard? He had to do it in the middle of the season. Okay, do you know how hard that is and how ridiculous that is? That is true concrete adversity, and he overcame it. And I'm not saying this isn't an argument to say that Josh Allen had a better season than Lamar Jackson. Like I'm not saying that at all. But to not give Josh Allen credit where credit is due is insane. And again, has Josh Allen had some bad interceptions and turnovers? Absolutely. He's asked to do so much. And also this whole turnover thing is not fair because since he gets some fumbles because he's holding the ball so much and he has to do so much to just win the game, either holding on to it to really hope that he can throw it or he's rushing, and going for it. And so you're going to get more turnovers when you're asked to do more. I've said this before in the past. LeBron James was one of the leaders in the history of the NBA in turnovers. No one thinks that LeBron James is a bad passer. In fact, it's the opposite. People see him as the greatest, most gifted passer with the greatest court vision the NBA has ever seen. But the ball is always in his hands. And so that's the same reason why someone like a Josh Allen has these turnovers. Some of it is on Josh. No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm not just saying it's a complete excuse and he's completely free of any culpability. That's not what I'm saying. But again, let's be smarter consumers. Please, let's look at this way more consciously and understand that the Ravens are a significantly better team. That the Cowboys have a better roster, than the Bills. But what makes the difference is Josh Allen. That's why the Bills were able to get the 2 seed. Josh Allen has to do way more for his team than say like a Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. Do I need to prove it to you? Like literally, they were like 7-1 or 6-1. What was it, last season or the season before with the Cowboys without Dak, when they had their backup quarterback that no one has even heard of, that no one knows anything about, and yet they still won all those games. So this idea that Dak is the one that's putting this team on his back, it's just not true. And Josh actually competes against good teams and beats them. He beat the Kansas City Chiefs. If you want to say that the Cowboys are so good, he beat the Dallas Cowboys. So he beat the Chiefs, beat the Dallas Cowboys, beat Miami Dolphins. Those are all big, huge wins. So it doesn't make any sense.
The Baltimore Ravens. Josh Allen, you can start with week 1. You can continue throughout the course of the season. Josh Allen has hurt the Buffalo Bills, though he has saved them as well. James Jones, you love you some Dak Prescott, rightfully so. Sir. Rightfully so. Shady, does he officially... It's time to get more respect?
Shady?
Yes, it is time for Shady to put some more respect on Dak Prescott's name, but it's not time for the world to put some more respect on Dak Prescott's name just yet, because Dak Prescott has to make a run in this playoffs, right? Because this All-Pro is cool, right? Hard to do. I never did it, right? Never smelt it, right? Shady has first-team All-Pro. That's why he said second. Like, we know Shady now over here on his desk, you know what I'm saying? But, if you are voted the second best quarterback in the National Football League, that's an honor. Right? I don't care who the first one is in front of you. That's an honor to be the number 2. So Shady has been really, really critical on Dak Prescott, really tough on Dak Prescott. And Dak Prescott has earned some of that. And I believe Dak Prescott has not earned some of that. But he's been critical on him. So I think Shady does need to put a little bit more respect on Dak Prescott's name. But as for us, being up here and the fans and the world watching, this is time now, Dak. All-Pro. You playing at an All-Pro level. They just put a stamp on that. And now you got 2 home games if you handle this first one at home and you playing really at an MVP level. Like, this is the time for you to go put your stamp on, I'm that type of elite quarterback in the National Football League that could take my team to these type games. And when we get to these type games, I'm that type of quarterback that can deliver in these type games. Not my defense playing well, not none of that other stuff, coach well, running the ball well. We win because of me and the way I played. And he has an opportunity on, what is it, Saturday or Sunday? Sunday to let the world know that. On Fox.
And that's the thing. Everyone's telling me, all the Cowboys fans are telling me, you're making excuses that they have an easy schedule. They're so, what about the Eagles last year? They had an easy schedule, blah, 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 blah. And yes, my comeback to that is, and the Eagles made it to the Super Bowl and almost won the Super Bowl. They were a play away from winning the Super Bowl. So and not to mention, when they had an easy schedule, they still beat the tough teams. Okay? They actually beat good teams last season, even though they also had an easier schedule. So when they actually played hard teams, they still beat them. That's not what the Cowboys and Dak Prescott has done. So again, I will update my opinion of the Cowboys and Dak Prescott if they make it to the Super Bowl, if they make it to the NFC Championship game and actually like almost win. But honestly, if they make it to the NFC Championship game but get beat pretty good by whoever, the 49ers or whoever ends up being, I'm not going to update really it's like, do it. Show up. Make it to the Super Bowl. This is the best year for you to make it to the Super Bowl. So it's on Dak. It's on the Dallas Cowboys. Get the job done. And if you can't, why am I going to change my outlook on Dak? I think I evaluate him very appropriately. He's a good quarterback, a pretty good quarterback. He is not great or elite. Prove to me, Dak, that you are great and that you are elite. Go on a run in the playoffs. Lead the Dallas Cowboys to the Super Bowl. You do that and now play good in the Super Bowl, because that's also what the Eagles and the Dallas and Jalen Hurts did in the Super Bowl last season. They played really well. They put up the most amount of points against the Chiefs than any other team that year. That's a big deal, right? I mean, Jalen Hurts balled out, outplaying Patrick Mahomes that game. So he showed up on the biggest stage. Dak Prescott hasn't done that. He's never done that. That's not an opinion. It is an absolute fact. What's his record? 2-4 in the playoffs? That's not good. That's not good. And if those 2 wins actually took them to the Super Bowl, then I would say, okay, those 2 wins are pretty good. You know, that's pretty good. But that's not what happened. His wins are in like wild card weekends and stuff. That doesn't matter. It just doesn't. Congratulations. You won the first round. Yay. You're a Dallas Cowboy. That's not the standards here. Okay? You're not in Atlanta. You're not in, a Panther. The world and the Cowboys expect more. So you either do it or you don't. It's that simple. But what do you all think? Do you think I need to put more respect on Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys name? Let me know in the comments below. If you think I'm just being a hater, let me know. If you think what I'm saying is correct, then also please let me know. And please do not forget to subscribe. We are building an amazing community here, turning into something truly, truly special. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're proud and excited to be part of. So please do subscribe. I would absolutely love to see you part of it. Thank you so much, and see you next time.